Right now, man, I'm with artist AB. Tell them a little bit about yourself, AB.
Man, like you said, name AB, from Little Aiden, North Carolina, born and raised pretty much. No Ink is the brand. No Ink is who I am, and that's just what it is.
Okay. And you say you from where again?
Little Aiden.
Little Aiden.
Little Aiden, South Side.
Tell me a little bit about Little Aiden.
It's known as the barbecue capital. Quite simply,
barbecue.
most people know it for Pete Jones Barbecue.
Okay.
But people around our way know it as DOT, Den of Thieves, and most people, from the streets know it as that. So DOT is what it is, what I always scream, and I'm from South Aiden, so that's just where the segregated high school was, where all blacks went. So for me, when you hear me say South Side, it's nothing but pride, and so that's why I say it and scream it the way I do. So South Side, it's just what it is.
South Side, that's dope. I like that. Tell me about how you feel about today's hip hop.
Today's hip hop, man, you know what? It grew on me a little bit. It took some time. And I think because it's not what we're accustomed to hearing. But also I want to caution everybody to understand, like, this isn't our whole culture. If you want to understand what hip hop is, you got to understand our culture as a whole. That goes from everything to music to the art. So, I love today's hip hop because I love music and I see what they're trying to do. But at the same time, I just want to caution them to understand this is how you raise your kids too, because this is your culture. So if this is how you raise them, understand the things you glorify will be the same things they glorify too. So if that's the case, you know what you're gonna have to do. So I love hip hop. Just want people to understand that this is how we were raised, how me and you were raised, how our parents were raised on this as well. Before it got to hip hop, it was just R&B, rhythm and blues. So it's our culture. So understand it's bigger than the music. It's culture.
Would you say that the culture is evolving?
I would say the culture is evolving. I think we'd be stagnant if it didn't. I think it's important that the culture evolves. I think it's just more important that people learn how to have communication. If you don't like what the young boys say on their song, just take a chance to listen to them. Prime example, I wasn't too fond of 21 Savage, but I love It's an Album. Okay. Because you really get to see who he is as a person, and you don't expect him to be as deep about certain things. And that's the beauty of our culture. Understanding, like, you can be ignorant at certain times, but also you need to let these niggas know that you're smarter than most. So
I can feel your passion, man. I can feel your passion. Can you tell me what separates yourself from other artists?
From other artists, really, man, the fact that I know I'm not perfect in anything. I don't expect nothing to be handed to me. I'll grind and take everything I need. And when I take, I will take. So I just like to be humble, man. I'm really genuine. I just think sometimes people get the humbleness mixed up with being weak. So I just caution anybody, like, ain't nobody weak over here. We're just humble about knowing what we're going to do. But at the same time, we respect others in their grind.
Okay. That's dope. I like that. I heard you had a project coming up.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Man, No Ink 2. It's the brand, man. It's the second one. And it's been really anticipated. It took 2 years to drop.
2 years.
2 years, man. I done buried my oldest first cousin. I done buried a classmate. I done watched my mom battle illness and come back. I done watched my daughter be sick at the same time I had to bury my brother. So for me, it's just a microcosm of everything I've been through, but it's also a reflection of what we are as a people. And if you like real music and you like people really not giving you any facade, just being real about who they are, then you'll love No Ink 2.
So it's safe to say that you got a lot to speak about on your album.
Absolutely. Absolutely have a lot to speak about. I talk about everything, man. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll dance, you'll hug your people. I mean, we got everything. We got everything from feel-good music to ride around if you want to gun them up music. But it's just everything that encompasses our music as a whole, because we know our moods switch from day to day. And that's what I like about No Ink 2 is that one day this song might hit for you, the next day that one might be your theme song. So it's just an eclectic piece.
Now, I said album, but I know it's a tape, what they would call it. But I haven't heard any tracks where you was on other people's beats. Is there any up there?
No, it's all original.
So it is an album.
It's more of an album. It is. I went more for an album feel. The only thing that the only reason I didn't call it an album is because I had a few more features. When I do an album, I expect for it to have minimum features, and you'll get a little bit more of me, a little bit more vocally, a little bit more musically. You'll just see the dynamic I can go to. But No Ink 2, it's going to get you prepped and ready by the time we drop No Ink 3.
Okay. So everybody knows being a hip hop artist, or trying to be a rapper, it's kind of a hard task.
Yeah.
Some people think it's relatively easy by just going viral, but what's the hardest part about being an artist?
Understanding the business, understanding that it's almost like athletics. You got to understand, you know, you can be the greatest in high school, but when you get to college, are you willing to wake up 5 a.m. every morning to work out? Are you willing to go to class after you work out and then meet back up for film session and go to practice after that? That's your daily routine. So when it comes to being a professional musician, you got to be willing to take time off so you can understand the business. If you don't understand the business, then you better have someone who around you who do. But it's nothing better than understanding yourself, because when you understand yourself, you can pass and enlighten to other people. So it's all about knowing where to put your dollar at. It's all about knowing how to invest and knowing how to see back on your investment. I really wish a lot more of us would be financially literate. I think too many of us are financially illiterate. What I mean is, if we drive a $30,000 car but we only make $25,000 a year, are we really being in the means that we need? Sometimes we have to question ourselves of that. If I get to a $60K a year job, should I go buy a $200,000 home? It's just certain things that we have to realize in ourselves. And so when you become a musician, you become a business owner. Because unless you plan to work for somebody else, you run your own business. So the best way to be an effective business owner is to understand how business works in your field. So I caution all to dive into the business. It's 10% music, 90% business. And I believe you told me that, Mr. Buck. So, you know, that's just the real of what it is.
I like that, because I don't think a lot of artists think that creating music is an investment. I think sometimes we think it's like, at some point it's a hobby.
Yeah.
But when you take it serious, it's an investment.
Absolutely.
Tell me what you feel like is right now your most important investment. The thing that I might not have everything together, but I'm going to make sure that this is right. What is that?
I mentally invested in myself. So it was no money that I needed. I had to mentally put back into me. Had to mentally make myself better so that when I'm speaking in front of you in front of the camera, you feel me. You don't just hear me. It takes some time to do that. You have to have self-reflection. You have to be real with yourself. And you have to get those yes men out your circle.
Right.
It's okay if they're your friends, that's fine. But understand they don't need to be on your board. And if you don't know what a board is,
right,
you really need to do some research.
So they don't need to be in your business.
Correct. They don't need to be in your business. And you'll understand and learn that friends and family do not make the best business partners. But you can't exclude all of them, but just understand that the stranger may have a better idea than your friend. It's up to you to really be open and receptive to take what they're telling you. Because the stranger don't know you from a can of paint, so if they tell you they feel like that's a hit, you may take heed to it. They tell you they feel like that's not what it is, and they don't know you, take heed to it. Even if you feel like it's the one for you, understand you don't buy your music, fans do.
Right.
So you have to find your genre that people like. And so if it's something that you didn't like, and that's one of the things I had to overcome, which took me so long with knowing too, was I had to get rid of a lot of the songs that I liked. A lot of songs I put my heart and soul, I cried on. A lot of ones I spent nights freestyling to, falling asleep, smoking L's, waking back up, freestyling again. But it wasn't because they're not good. It's just because simply the crowd right now needs this. And later, once we get them attracted to us, then we can give them more. So you got to give them, your fans, something that they can branch onto that identifies you. And once they come to you, then you can expose them to your versatility. But one thing you can't do is be too versatile in the beginning. Okay. Because they have to find something to niche to. And if you're all over the place, what do they know to niche to? So, you know, I salute those who have their trap swag. I salute those who have their patented voices. I salute the Big Enoughs, the Uptowns, the Chinamans. I salute all of them. But I also salute myself, because I know I'm very unique and I have my own niche as well. You listen to Knowing too, you'll find out yourself.
I like that. Last question for you.
Yeah.
If right now, you know, you had access to any budget, what artist would be the first artist you would get a feature from?
Oh man, oh that's huge.
Huge. That artist might see this interview.
The first artist, Eminem. That's my.
You gotta tell me why. You gotta tell me why.
I grew up a big fan. I feel like Big is my big brother. However, and some of you may hate me for this, I didn't catch on to Jay. I wasn't a fan of Jay, just because simply I was still in love with Big. You gotta understand that. So by the time I'm really ready to let go of Big, I flock to M. It's not that Jay isn't a GOAT. It's not that he isn't what he is. How could you not? I respect his music, but for me, Eminem dialed more into what I was going through. So he wasn't what it was. No, I didn't have a mother or a family doing the same things that he had, but I was best friends with people who did. It was he spoke more to me. And I really respect the fact that he wasn't scared to be intelligent, but he also wasn't scared to let you know that he ain't no pushover. And he wasn't scared to be himself. So what you really got to understand, whenever you talk about what you got going on personal, you ain't scared to be yourself.
Right.
A lot of people ain't going to open up their closet and let you see their skeletons.
Right.
They're going to paint a facade for you, let you think this is what it is.
I love that.
He was ready to be real from the jump. And
Yes.
that's how I even patented myself, how I even came up with No Ink. I mean, just listen to the man freestyle, bro. All you got to do, you never see him take out clips from 8 Mile when he was just freestyling for the battle. It changes your whole life because you realize that's a talent that not everybody possesses. And when you hear the director say he did that on spot, you realize, and again, that's not normal. So for me, I respected him. And he would be my top feature because I know it wouldn't be something that everybody would expect, but for me, it'd be perfect because we like two peas in a pie. We fit. Not scared to be intelligent, not scared to be ourselves, and most importantly, we dope, and that's just what it is.
I like that. No ink, no ink too.
No Ink 2.
No ink too.
No Ink 2.
I like that.
Yeah.
Tell them when it drops.
Man, we got it dropping next Saturday. So I believe that date is the 28th of October. It's going to be available for live stream. It's hosted by the 23rd DJs, so shout out to the 23rd DJs. I got features from Ivy Monet, got features from Queetsy, from Durham, shout out to Bull City and everybody in the 919 movement. We just got features from different people, Sauceboy Gucciani, AC Stars, and we just got a plethora of producers. Kelly Bangers, we got his engineering on it. We got Jabari, Graven, if you know Graven,
Okay.
S-Drop from Lil Washington. We just really wanted to take North Carolina, and I just really wanted to put it on the tape so people could see that we beastie over on this side. So that's really what it is, man.
What mixtape did you say? What mixtape sites can they get it again?
We're gonna do Spinrilla.
Okay.
We're gonna do my mixtapes. I believe it's the Mix Hub is the newest one out, and I'm also gonna have hard copies. So the hard copies you'll be able to contact with me. You see me out, I have them in the trunk. That's how I like to do. I do trunk units. I call it trunk trapping. So that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be city to city, state to state. 252 is my home. I reside in Durham now, but I'm always around. So you need me, you see me, holla at me. It's nothing. You want to collab, official AB252@gmail. Everything else is official AB252 on social media. I'm always humble and willing to work. Just have a plan. I'm going to have one. We're going to get it.
All right. Man, listen, man. We just wrapped up a dope interview with AB, man. Y'all make sure to check out his new project, No Ink 2.
Self-sight.
Hey, we out.